Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the NZ Travel Show presented by your host, me, Robin, and the fabulous Laura.
Yes, and on the NZ Travel Show, we take your questions every single week, every single Sunday at 8 a.m. New Zealand time. So we can talk everything about travelling in New Zealand and ask your direct New Zealand travel questions straight away for you. But if you do miss the live session, then you can always put your questions in the comment section of any of our YouTube videos and we can answer them for you on the spot as well, or we can pull those together and answer some of them during the next live show. So that is a quick rundown of what this whole NZ Travel Show is about. But shall we get started and go straight to the live chat?
Yes. So wait. First,
let's not get started.
Let's start by the poll. So actually, there's even a news. So first, we want to send all our thoughts and good wishes to our good friends in Tonga. We hope that they are doing okay. Communications are still very uneven with the country of Tonga, so we haven't heard from most of them. But our heart is with you guys, and we will keep on trying to reach out to you guys, whenever we can. Next, we do have a poll because yesterday we definitely did not stay up way too late. Laura definitely doesn't have bloodshot eyes. We definitely didn't go to a barbecue for a while. So today's poll is, what is the best barbecue food? And one of the answers is not food because we know that Clay is going to be somewhere around. So what is your favorite barbecue food? Go and answer the poll in the comment section of the video. It's the most important question of the year. Then in the live chat, we had Fabio that is asking us to wait a little bit for him. He was a little bit late.
Wait.
So everybody pause and let's just wait. We also have Poetry Station, which is a very lovely name. I think that's going to be the name of the day. I think I'm going to go give the award really quickly.
To the second comment.
Second comment, Poetry Station. You have the award of the best nickname of the day. So here you go. So what is he saying, or he or she saying?
They say, hey, Robin and Laura, you guys are doing a great job. Please tell me, what's the situation over there in New Zealand?
So the situation, I'm guessing you are talking about the COVID-19 situation in New Zealand. So we are obviously on track for vaccinating a lot of people. We passed the 90% vaccination. We do have a plan for borders reopening in order to let more people coming in the country. And you can find another video on that on the channel. And we are starting to get boosters. So we're going to get our vaccine boosters, Laura and I, at the end of next week. On Friday, I think we're getting our booster. So basically, we are kind of on track. We're powering along, right? We're not going too fast, but we're kind of on track. And aside from that, we do have obviously a lot of neighboring islands that New Zealand is helping, both with COVID-19 and other sort of disaster reliefs. So New Zealand is monitoring the situation around the Fiji area due to Cyclone Cody, which did hit the island this week. And we're also very much monitoring the situation due to the latest eruption of the volcano near Nuku'alofa, Tongatapu, which is the main island in Tonga, and that happened literally just last night. So that's basically kind of like the regional news in very, 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 very short. But yeah, I hope that this answers your question. We also had Tamo. What was Tamo saying?
Tamo is saying, good evening, folks.
Nice.
Good evening, Tamo. We have Natasha Rodriguez, one of our lovely Patreons, saying, good morning, all.
Good morning, Natasha. How are you doing? Also, Fabio is now a producer of our little live show right here. That's pretty good.
Lovely. We have Nathan saying, kia ora, good morning, Laura and Robin. Kia ora, Nathan. We have Fabio, Oibaf, Fabio saying, I am back.
He's here. All right, guys, by the way, what do you think about this new background right here? I finally got rid of these frame things that I personally really did not like, and we have changed those with a little green screen. So the idea is that we'll be able to put some photos of New Zealand that's going to kind of slide through a little bit. But because I did set that up this week and the Patreons got some behind the scene of me setting this up, I didn't have time to sort out, 6 different slideshows to go behind all those little things. So I just put some background right now. But what do you think of it? It's a bit more colorful, a bit more lively. I personally like it very much, but I'd love to hear your comments. Okay, we have Adil that says, kia ora, Robin and Laura. Kia ora, Adil. Durai is saying, hi guys, happy Pongal. What is a Pongal. What is it?
I don't know, but happy
Contact.
Pongal to
Happy
you
Pongal,
too.
yes.
Anthony Comstock saying Morena from Rodeo, California. What does Morena mean? Robin?
Morena means good morning in Maori, which is the local indigenous language. And Anthony is one of our fabulous Patreon supporters. So everybody gives a big up to Anthony.
Yeah. We have Nathan saying, I think it's a bit tricky to choose an option. I would choose all the options.
Yeah,
and he's referring to the poll.
You got to pick only one. You got to pick only one. Natasha Rodriguez says, I hope everyone is safe over there. I bet she's referring to Tonga. She said there is even a tsunami warning over here in Vancouver Island. So it must be a really big one. Yes, so the eruption was actually heard. You could hear it over 700 kilometers away. So the eruption happened in Tonga, but all the way in Fiji, they could hear the eruption happening. So it is definitely really massive. You're more than welcome to actually research that maybe on your phone while you're watching this live session. Just check the satellite images. It literally covers most of the country on Tonga, which is really large as well. So it's really, really big.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, most communication have been cut. So that's kind of a bit of an issue right here. What is Clay saying?
Clay says, answer to the poll is all of the above. Beer while cooking, not feeling like food because the beer, and then eating later a cold once the music and the chat comes to an end. That seems like an unorganized barbecue.
So, we're having a barbecue with our friends and everything. I can tell you that everybody ate when it was warm and the food was eaten, on time, warm and nice. We were all quite hungry by the time.
As soon as I could smell the barbecue, I was ready. I was ready to pounce.
Tomek says, hi guys, are you playing with green screen? Yes, we are. So we just got, this is green screen right here, and this is green screen. So I put some pieces of green screen on frames, and so the goal is to kind of like be able to have a bit more flexibility in here, and hopefully you guys like it. What do you guys think about it?
Well, we actually have some opinions on the live chat. We have Fabio saying, it looks great.
Good.
Awesome. We have David Burrow saying, the background looks really cool.
Yes.
Cool. And then Tom, I can't say this, Tomek
is KPCH. Is it Russian? Tomek, are you of Russian descendants or something? How do you pronounce your name?
And they say, okay, got the answer. Looks good. Cool, thank you. And then we have Tamo saying, disco squares looks interesting.
So just to make it really clear, right, the goal is not to keep like the disco lights. The goal is to actually change that to like photos of New Zealand. I just had to do what I could do with the time I had. And I will slowly work through, creating different slideshows that will go in all those places. So I'll work on that real soon. So that's the goal, right?
And Robin's go-to for any situation is, how can I make it disco first? And then he moves on.
Yes. So yeah, every time I think about something, I'm like, okay, what will they do in Saturday Night Fever? If it works for them, it should work for me.
I mean, everyone's happy when they can see disco.
Exactly. So and technically it's supposed to be a slow gradient right here, but yeah.
Is it going a bit fast?
I feel like it's going quite fast. I don't know if I'm super happy about what it ends up looking like, but yeah. All right, guys. So while we are keep on getting some questions from you guys, what is Fabio saying in the meantime?
Fabio says you can use the new pics, and we will see in the next few weeks.
Yes. So yeah, I'll do some like cool slideshow. So yeah, absolutely we'll do that. So yeah, Fabio is referring to the fact that in the Patreon group right now, we are sharing a lot of photo shoots that we're going to be doing. We've done this week, and we actually even have one more today. Around where we live, in order to just re-up our skills, because we will need our skills very soon, but I know why, and you guys all will know really shortly. You'll know next week, actually. All right, but in the meantime, let's go with the question that we received during the week, and that question is from Cachet. So let's do
a little transition.
Boom, bam. No. Yes, here you go, a little transition. All right, so we received a question from Cachet during the week, and it's a question straight up for Laura. And the question is, Laura, I love your shot on Instagram. Can you share some of your photo tips for New Zealand, please?
I absolutely can.
All right.
So yeah, I think there's a few tips that I can share, which basically anyone can do. You don't have to have a crazy fancy camera, because that's the thing. A lot of people sort of think that they have to have massive DSLR cameras, but a lot of phones nowadays are pretty damn good at taking photos. So the first tip I would give is actually use what equipment you have. You don't have to spend loads on getting new fancy equipment until you are ready to, until you're like, okay, I've mastered the phone. I want to spend more money and get some more gear. And then that's a good time to get more gear.
Yeah, you don't need the biggest camera in the world to get started. It's all about good shot composition, and even post editing is actually quite powerful even on newer phones nowadays.
Absolutely.
So you don't necessarily need to buy an annual subscription to Photoshop and a $3,000 camera. There's no need for that.
Because also on top of that, you might get a camera, and then as you realize, as you're taking more photos, you realize that maybe that camera that you spent thousands on wasn't actually the right camera that you wanted. Yeah. So it's best to get into it first, then go get the right gear. Another tip I would give, this is more for actually taking the photos, is always find new angles. So when you're taking travel photos, you'll probably see the same sort of angles taken for the same destinations on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. The same shot is taken every time from the same angle. And yeah, even people going somewhere and just taking it at eye level, that is obviously the standard to do. But if you want to make your photos look really interesting and really different, then always look for new and different, even crazy angles, even angles that you might think would be really weird to do, like, getting quite low even right on the ground to do some photos looking up, or going really, really high, or, behind something, so you have maybe something in the foreground and the landscape in the background.
Partial views are also good, yeah.
Yeah, so you just really, it's about taking actually quite a lot of photos, but from lots of different angles, because then you might, as you're looking through them later, you'll probably see like, oh, actually that was quite an interesting different sort of shot that probably not a lot of other people have got. So yeah, just always look for new and different angles. Another thing for your composition, this is kind of a beginner's basics photo tip, but it is the rule of thirds. So what you'll see on a lot of cameras and even on a lot of phones is that you can put up this grid on your screen, which is, 2 vertical lines, 2 horizontal lines, splitting it up into basically thirds horizontally and vertically. So what is good about this is that if you're unsure of how to compose your photo, then it's a good way to fall back onto lining up, say, your subject in one of those thirds. So either, a bit to the side, a bit to the other side, maybe a bit on top, a bit on the bottom. But basically the point is not to always center all your photos. To make something look quite, nice and different, then the rule of thirds is a good tip to fall back on. And I fall back on it all the time, and it always works out. So yeah, that's always good for composition. Another tip is, I will actually just refer to, because we do have an article on nzpocketguide.com, which is how to take better travel photos, and it is meant for beginners. It is definitely not for photographers that probably know all these tips already, but if you just want to take better travel photos when you're just doing casual travel and just tourism, then these are tips that anyone can do. So another tip is to get yourself in the photo. I know this can be quite difficult, but you will feel really pleased. I think people that do enjoy taking photos, you probably will feel really have quite a rewarding feeling of managing to get yourself in the photo. Even if you're traveling solo, there are ways of doing it. And obviously the timer setting is always good. And even if you don't have a tripod, not many people want to travel with a tripod. They can be pretty bulky.
It's just us.
It's just us. But yeah, one thing that we learned a lot while doing New Zealand's biggest gap year, which is when Robin and I did 365 days of 365 activities, and we were trying to take lots of amazing photos for you guys, which actually had us in the photos so you could get a sense of, picture sort of yourselves in that destination as well. So it's always cool to get people in the photos. So when you're going to a place, actually have a look around and see where can you set up your camera or your phone, sort of maybe have something in your backpack that you can lean your phone up against. For instance, I've been to a waterfall hike recently and there was a rubbish bin actually quite nearby, and I just propped up my camera on the rubbish bin and just had a few things around to secure it like that were in my backpack, maybe like my first aid kit or something, like just something to keep it sturdy. Then putting on the timer on for 10 seconds, and even better if your camera has the ability to, if you can allow your camera to take, say, 10 shots after 10 seconds, and then while you're getting your photos done, like while it's taking the photos for 10 shots for 10 seconds, not for 10 seconds, but 10 shots after 10 seconds, then try different poses, try different photos, because if you just do the one pose, it's very often that you come back to your camera and you're like, oh, actually, that pose was not looking as good as I had it in my head. So yeah, try lots of different things. Like, don't be afraid to try, just try different poses and stuff as well. And there's always the classic one where you can have your back turned to the camera.
Yeah.
And
also what you can do is move yourself as well. If you haven't used any kind of like like autofocus or anything like that, you can move closer to the camera or further from the camera, and you'll see that it will just make a massive difference. So if you're unsure and you're like, I don't have 10 poses in my head, it's absolutely okay. Do 2 steps forward, 3 steps backwards, something like that, and you'll find that you actually get something quite different. And I usually find that quite cool.
Yeah. Another tip about composition is use leading lines. So this means when you see some lines that, for instance, in New Zealand, there's lots of boardwalks. So when you're doing a hiking trail or even a hiking trail itself, you'll notice how if you're composing a photo, you'll see sort of like these lines leading to maybe a landscape or something. And that is a good way to compose your photo so that your eyes are drawn to whatever you're trying to showcase on your photo, for instance. So for instance, even if you're on a boat or a sailing trip, you have lots of lines, ropes and stuff, and you can sort of use those lines to lead to basically whatever is the main thing you want to take a photo of. So that's another easy way to compose photos, and that's quick and easy to do when you're on the go. Another tip is anything looks good during sunrise or sunset. So, it's always, if you do want to actually get some really stellar shots, then it is worth getting up quite early to get some photos at sunrise, because anything...
Get up early, you lazy man.
Yeah, get up early. Because, anything, just landscapes will look amazing at sunrise or sunset. And, usually it's, sunrise is usually easier to sort of... Well, no, I mean, maybe I was going to say it's maybe easier to get to, but some people maybe don't want to wake up that early. But it is worth maybe once or twice during your trip to get up early and, try getting some of those awesome sunrise shots. So do you have any more tips to give people?
No, I think that's wrap it up. We do have an article on the NZ Pocket Guide with plenty of tips to take awesome pictures in New Zealand and across the world. But we're by no means professional photographers. We just do pictures as we go, and we travel a lot. So we have had the chance to take photos of plenty of stuff, very, very many places in New Zealand. If you want to follow us on Instagram, since the question from Cache was about Instagram, it's at NZ Pocket Guide. You're more than welcome to join us then. And for all your travel tips and much more, hit like, hit subscribe, keep on joining us on the channel, and check out nzpocketguide.com. In the meantime, let's go back to the live chat and see what are the live questions right now. Okay, where are we on?
I think we're at Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan over there was telling us about his day yesterday.
Okay, so he says, yesterday I had a very active day with walking up Mount Tohara in the morning and then going over to Rotorua to do the zipline tour with canopy tours in the afternoon. That sounds like a pretty awesome day. Yeah,
it looks like you had a blast. How did you like your canopy tour over there? It's one of the best zipline in the country, let's be honest. So, how did you like it, Nathan?
And did you get to feed the little robin? Sometimes they have a robin that comes down. Not this robin, but they have sometimes on some tours they have a robin that can come down and it's just a wild robin, but it comes and gets fed. So
he's a local over there.
So we have Fabio saying, that sounds great, Nathan. Can you give us a little bit more information on the hike? I always love to hear about that. Yeah, so Mount Tohara is shall we share some more information about that? So Mount Tohara is the closest mountain hike to Taupo, to the town of Taupo. It's literally only, I'd say, about 5 to 10 minute drive,
10-minute drive at most,
out of town. And to hike up the mountain, it's probably, I mean, some people do it quite fast, but I'd say allow about an hour to an hour and a half. But you can even do it in half an hour to an hour. It depends how fit you are, because it is uphill all the way. So, you know, some people might need to stop quite often, but if you can keep going all the way up, then you could do it in, I'd say, about 45 minutes to an hour. It's not the best maintained trail, so there's a little bit of scrambling to do, a lot of, like, you know, bits where you have to clamber over tree roots and things like that. But yeah, but then once you get to the top, you have some amazing views. You have views over Lake Taupo, and on a clear day, you'll be able to see Mount Nauhoi, Mount Ruapehu, and Tongariro over the lake. So it has some really amazing views from the top, and yeah, it will take you, like, allow like maybe 2 to 3 hours to do the entire trip, because also when you get up to the top, you'll want to spend some time up there taking lots of photos. So yeah,
it's that nice big rock that people like to sit on and
a nice
take a
big
photo
rock
with
up
Lake
there.
Taupo in the background, all that.
Yeah, so Mount Ohara is definitely worth doing if you have the time whilst you're in Taupo.
We have Latin Mercato that says, hello, I'm Hotail from Congo Brazzaville. Nice.
Ooh,
that is really
nice.
cool. Are you in Brazzaville town? Are you there, or are you in any other places in Congo Brazzaville? We also have Orson that says, if we get help from a licensed immigration advisor while applying for a working holiday visa, and we indicate this in the application process, will it increase the chances of our visa being approved? Absolutely not. And especially for the working holiday visa, which is a very easy visa to process. Pretty much no people will use help for that. You can do it literally through an agency that will kind of do it for you, or you can do it on your own, but like actually hiring an immigration advisor for that, no. And just to make it clear, it never increases your chance to get the visa, right? It's just somebody that's going to help you walk you through the process, and usually it's not often worth your money. Clay says, getting in the photo myself is why I got a drone. Shame the drone's active track doesn't use the rule of thirds. Yeah, it doesn't really, but what you can do is that you can place it to track, like, for example, if you're more than one person on a hike or everything like that, what I usually do is that Laura is going to be at one spot, I'm going to be at another spot, so I'm going to track the person in the back, which is going to be a third behind. That will give you a tracking on the first person, more like on the third. Anyway, you can play around with that, and yeah, and if you don't use the official DJI app and you use the other app, which what's the name of? I can't remember, but they actually can do active track with using, like, you can decide, like, you can be offsetting from what you're tracking, and therefore you can use rule of thirds in then. What is the alternative, the app to fly a drone, which is not the DJI one? It's gonna come back to me, mate. It will come back to me. Okay, we have Extreme Talota that says Morena. What does Morena mean, Laura?
It means good morning in the Maori language. Te reo Maori.
Nathan and Fabio are having a chat about the lovely hike. And Clay says the road to Mount Cook is a classic to get line shot from the road level. Yes. So if you've ever seen these pictures of like that road driving straight to a really large mountain, that's usually
that's the classic leading lines photo.
What is Fabio saying about the sunset? I'm just going to move my chair. I realize I'm not sat properly.
Okay, so we have Fabio saying sunset is a very good photo opportunity too. Yes, it is. For the same reasons as sunrise is. Or like any landscape will look amazing with all those like dramatic sort of sun and shadows going across it. Yeah, and lovely colours.
Violet Zulu, all the way from Pretoria, South Africa, if I remember correctly, Violet. And she says, how are you guys? How much did I miss? Not much. So we talked a little bit about the events in Tonga, in Fiji. We talked about taking some photos around New Zealand. But aside from that, no, we're casually chatting about New Zealand. It's fun.
You haven't missed the poll. So the poll this week is concerning barbecue food.
Very important.
Because it is the barbecue season in New Zealand. So feel free to let us know which one is your favourite by adding to the poll.
There you go. Answering the poll. Even.
Answering the poll.
Okay.
Words are hard.
Natasha Rodriguez says,
speaking of the Rotorua canopy tours, I was wondering, original canopy tour versus ultimate canopy tour, is the ultimate worth it?
Okay, so I'm going to give you my straight honest opinion. I usually think that zip lining tour always lasts a little too long, right? It's you get the novelty and then it comes wears off as you go, right? So in my opinion, the shorter tour is always the better because you're gonna get the gist of it. You're gonna see most of everything, and then after that you kind of done with it. I kind of get. Watch the, just go on YouTube and type South Park zipline and you know what I'm talking about. But jokes aside, says yeah, I usually do think that it kind of overstates welcome as a tour. It's really fun for novelty for the first couple of hours, but then after that, it's just gonna be kind of like, okay, well, can I just clip and zip and like I would be done with it. But that's probably me because
Yeah.
like I kind of like. I would like to get things done, but yeah, what would be your take on it? Would you rather a longer zipline tour or a shorter zipline tour?
Well, I know that the major difference between those two tours is that the ultimate zipline tour is the includes a tandem zipline, meaning that you can go down 2 people at a time. So if you are traveling with someone and you want to maybe get a photo of you both ziplining at the same time, or just want to have that experience of doing it together, then that is included on the ultimate tour. But otherwise, yeah, I feel like the original one is by far the most popular. That's because it is the cheaper option, and you still do get a lot out of that, out of the original tour, and it's still a very fantastic tour. But yeah, I'd say it like Robin says, because Robin isn't as into zipline tours as a lot of other people, he would choose the original. But if
very much into zipline,
maybe if you think like, oh yeah, ziplining is definitely my thing, it sounds really cool, then it might be worth paying the little extra to make it last a little longer. If I can compare it to another type of tour, for instance, a tour that we can sort of relate to a bit more, which is actually blackwater rafting in Waitomo, which they have a shorter, more popular version of the Waitomo Caves, Black Labyrinth, but then they have the longer version, which has like so much more to it, which is the Black Abyss. If you are, for us, because we're more into caving and stuff, because we're really into that activity, we absolutely think that you should go for the longer version, and we've done both, and we are like, yeah, the longer version is so much better. So comparing it on that sort of same level, if you're really into ziplining, then yeah, go for the longer tour, and you feel like you've got a lot more out of it. But if you're just wanting to try it out and have the experience, then the original tour is definitely a really worthy tour to go on. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. All right. Moving on to the next question, we have Clay saying, Drone Link, I bought that, but haven't had a real play yet. So
no, I don't think it's Drone Link. I just realized that on my map I didn't have Waitomo. I need to do some. I'm very upset about it.
Oh no.
But that's okay. I will deal with that. I will put myself in notes. I'll deal with that. And bad Robin.
So Nathan says the ultimate canopy tour is the one I did, and we had 2 Robins that got fed. Oh, that's really cool. I highly recommend everyone to do that one. Okay, so yeah, Nathan had a blast on the ultimate tour. So maybe, yeah, Natasha, you might want to go for the ultimate tour as well. But yeah, it really depends on your take on ziplining tours. We have Clay saying, Rotorua or Queenstown both sell themselves as the adventure capital. Thoughts? When I was in Rotorua for work, not play, it seemed pretty quiet. Maybe because of that it's better than Queenstown?
Okay. I definitely would prefer Rotorua to Queenstown, right? I'm kind of vocal about Queenstown. Queenstown for me, it's a 1-2 night and over and done thing. I think it's just it's. The city center is just a bit too crowded and everything is super expensive. So that would be my take for Queenstown. I'm not necessarily super fan of it. However, I really do like Rotorua because you kind of a hub basically to explore pretty much everything in the top north of the North Island. There is a ton of cultural activities which I really love. I'm a really big fan of all the geothermal activities, and so being able to do mountain biking and have geothermal features to look at along the way and everything. So I definitely would prefer Rotorua for just all the convenience that you have as well. And also usually you never have a full book tour in Rotorua, and that I really do like that. So you never really feel too crowded.
Yeah.
I mean, except in the height height of the tourist season when COVID is not here and you go to Tepuya at like 1 p.m., then at that point you may be a little bit crowded, but that is really like you will have to actually kind of like create yourself the perfect storm to be crowded in Rotorua, and that's what I really do like about the town. It's you can't really get too crowded there. I really do like Rotorua. Sorry. And a lot of people complain about the smell of Rotorua, and I think they're wrong. You get used to it really quickly, and it's definitely worth it to spend a bit of time there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think Rotorua is more like compared to Queenstown. It feels like Queenstown is, full of tourists, full of visitors, so it's hard to get the sort of local feel of what is this town usually like when it is just locals. But in Rotorua, it feels like there's a lot more locals. It feels like you're having more of an authentic town experience.
It's more New Zealand like.
It's more, exactly.
However, if you have unlimited budget and you are just in for massive adrenaline boost, and then Queenstown is more your stuff, right? There's more different kind of activities, as long as you have enough to pay for it.
And I think the major difference, like you say, Rotorua has amazing geothermal parks. If you're really into seeing geothermal landscapes and stuff, Rotorua is the best place to go for that. Whereas Queenstown has amazing sort of mountainous scenery and more. Like Rotorua does have a lake, but I think it can be argued that Queenstown's sort of lake landscapes are a little more dramatic and quite amazing to look at. So if you're more into mountain scenery, then Queenstown has more of the wow factor there.
We have Louis from the UK, which is asking us a question.
Louis says, are the spiders big in New Zealand or small, like in the UK?
It depends where you define big. Like if it's larger than your head, they are about the size of your head in New Zealand, the spiders, but that size, right? About that big?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm joking. Spiders in New Zealand are quite small. They're really small, and there's only a couple which are kind of venomous that's going to really hurt you. They're quite rare, to be quite fair. So
I mean, if you're talking about spiders in the UK, like I would only know like house spiders in the UK, and I've seen bigger house spiders in the UK than I've seen in New Zealand. Like the spider, there's by no means tarantulas in New Zealand, so they're not huge and scary. They're actually. Yeah, they're usually a bit smaller, actually, the ones in New Zealand, and actually less scary than the ones I remember in the UK. So, yeah, if you're scared of spiders, I actually think that New Zealand is better for you.
Joey, the fantastic Joey from Patreon is here, and he says hello from Liverpool. Here you go.
From Liverpool.
Ooh.
I used to have a housemate from Liverpool.
Liverpool.
All
right. How is it going for you, mate? So Joey is one of our patrons. He's traveling around Europe right now. So we get basically every time he says hi to us, he says hi from a different place.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. We're traveling through you right now, which is kind of fun. Natasha is saying something.
She says, thank you and thanks, Nathan. I really enjoy ziplining and we will be on our honeymoon, so a tandem photo might be nice. Yeah, so
in that situation, if you really enjoy ziplining and you're on your honeymoon, you kind of have to.
Go for the ultimate tour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make sure you pack your veil as well, so, during the zipline, you can put it on top of your helmet, and so you can zipline with your veil like that.
that would be a cool photo.
That would be a safety hazard. It would dangle somewhere. Don't do that. It was a joke. Do not do that. Don't look at Laura's eyes.
Anything for the photo.
Please, Natasha, stay safe when you travel around New Zealand. I have to have a warning. I will. You know what? The next thing I'm going to invest in, thanks to the Patreon, I was able to kind of sort this thing out. I will add a big warning sign that I can turn on and say "warning sarcasm" right here.
Yeah.
So like that is there.
Clay is saying, referring to his question about between Rotorua and Queenstown and whether and which one is the better adrenaline capital. He's saying, like, if you were a thrill seeker, though, which one would you choose? I would actually say if you're a thrill seeker, go for Queenstown.
Yeah, if you have the money for it, go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. So we've done Joey.
Clay's scared of spider.
Clay, any spider in my mind are huge. Yep. And then we have Stanislav saying New Zealand have the black widow though.
Yeah, well we do have some spiders which are a little bit more dangerous than others, but again, they are very, very rare, and so just stay away. You'll be good.
I actually, I took a little house spider out of the house today.
Wow. national hero right here.
I know.
When are they
It was
making a?
It's a very. They're really like the ones that you get mostly in your house in New Zealand are just like they have the smallest bodies, really quite long legs, but they're not scary. They're not scary compared to other spiders. But yeah, I just. I saw it and took it outside because, like, you're going to make lots of webs in my house. So
Yeah, I'm actually about to petition the New Zealand government to make the 16th of January official national holiday of Laura. So I would like it to be a day of.
Saving
But
the
that
spider.
one day she took a spider out of the house. So yeah, no, I definitely want to. So yeah, if you guys want to support my petition to the New Zealand Parliament, by all means do that.
Everyone should just take the spiders out of the house.
Sorry, sarcasm. Oh, we need to get that sign, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have Fabio saying, Auckland has some spider immigrants. They are a little bit bigger than in Europe, I'd say. Oh, okay.
Oh, like you mean like those things which are coming in the crates and that we have to eradicate? That's the thing, like in the harbour? I think that may be what it means. Yeah, so we're doing a lot of biosecurity in New Zealand, and there is sometimes some insect. There is actually a whole TV show about biosecurity in New Zealand, and they have to fumigate some crates sometimes in the Auckland harbour and everything like that because there is extra insects coming over. So yeah. What is Joey saying?
Joey says, Scouser lad, because you call people from Liverpool Scousers.
Of course,
Yes,
that makes sense.
just so people know.
They're not Liverpoolian?
No, they're Scousers. They speak like that. Scousers.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm having loads of fun, but apparently I have no flight home and might be stuck here.
What?
Oh no. Oh God, stuck in Liverpool.
Pick another place to be stuck in.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to call my family to come and get you out of there. Okay, we have Natasha saying, not looking to get beheaded on my honeymoon.
Yeah, so what about you look at that side of the screen for your travel advice rather than that side of the screen, right?
Yeah.
Don't get as excited as my stupid ideas. Okay, Clay says the huntsmans are decent size, so he's talking about spider sizes. Same for the portobello funnel web. Portable, like the funnel, tunnel web.
Maybe,
I think it's not funnel. I think it's
tunnel web.
tunnel web. Yeah, the tunnel web are usually quite small though. So if you guys don't know, tunnel spiders are like, well, sometimes when you hike around New Zealand, you see like little tunnels basically, and they kind of spiral and they're kind of wide. So it's basically like a spider web made into a tunnel, and they're called tunnel spiders. But they're not that gigantic, those spiders.
If you guys want to see a cool video on YouTube of us seeing some really cool spiders in the forest in New Zealand, then check out our video on kiwi spotting in Whakatane. So
we didn't see any kiwis.
We didn't see any kiwis. It was a night tour. We went with some guides who are nature guides. They do conservation in the area, and we were with them. We were with basically the bug guy, the guy that knew all about insects in the forest, and he was showing us some amazing spiders and I think snails as well. There were snails climbing the plants and things. So yeah, so if you check out Whakatane is spelled Whakatane. And
was it a hint for me to just write it on screen?
Yeah, because
Sorry,
the pronunciation and how you spell it is quite different.
I'll deal with that right now. I will put that on screen.
But yeah, check out this video on our YouTube channel. If you go on our YouTube channel and there's a little search box on our channel actually, which you can just type in Whakatane Kiwi Tour, and you will see us going through the forest at night and seeing all these cool spiders. So those spiders in the forest are actually are bigger than like the spiders that you get in the houses.
I don't think you would ever get this kind of spiders in your home.
Yeah,
right?
and it's really difficult to find those spiders during the daytime. But yeah, we were with the right guy. We were with the bug guy, and he knew where all the spiders were. So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, and Clay also mentioned that, compared to Australia, our spiders are obviously like tame. They're they're house pets, They're house pet compared to like the mountain lions that they have as spiders over there.
Yeah.
And Joey tells us that they have cancelled this flight.
Oh.
No.
Oh gosh, well, let us know where you went up, and where you'll probably be calling from somewhere completely different next week, and yeah, we hope that you can make it home safe eventually.
All right, so I'm going to give you a quick chat about Patreon, guys. If you feel like supporting our channel and supporting the creation of an independent travel guide for New Zealand, nzpocketguide.com, it's the largest travel guide. It takes a lot of time, money, and energy to do that. You may want to join us on Patreon. If you support us, you will get yourself some awesome perks and a ton of good karmas. But let's go back to the perks. You get access to a secret Facebook group in which we share, literally, I don't know, guys, comment in the comments right now, but we pretty much share things every single day at the moment. You get some PDF guides of some of our favorite places and hidden gems in New Zealand. We do an extra 1 hour live session every single week. So right now, we're going to do an extra hour with just the Patreons, and we help you plan your trip. And there's plenty more extra perks that we have for you. We can send you postcards. We can do one-on-one sessions and everything like that. So we currently have 8 awesome Patreons. We have some producers, Fabio, Tarmo, Beverly, and Clay. And we also have some awesome supporters, Joey, Anthony, Daving, and obviously the fabulous Natasha. So yes, if you want to join them, it's a really fun community. You can find a link to our Patreon page right below in the comments of this video. Let's go back to what we are doing.
To the live chat.
Yes, to live chat. What is Michael Mariano saying all the way from Hawaii?
Michael Mariano says, aloha, good morning. I love the LED lights.
It's actually a green screen, so I was actually checking. Look, if I put Laura's cup, if I put Laura's cup, it goes all across it and everything. So it's actually a green screen. So I will be able to change those to photos of New Zealand, which I just set this one up this week. Actually, this one's not straight, is it? So I just set it one of this week. I'm just working on that. But yeah, I think it's going to pop a little bit more than the previous thing that we had and I wasn't a big fan of. So yeah, how is it going for you in Hawaii? Any tsunami warning for you due to the eruption in Tonga? Are you in high ground? Are you safe? Tell us, Michael.
Yes.
What is Fabio saying?
Fabio says, that's the video you have talked about. I guess maybe about the spider?
No, I think Fabio was trying to share a link, and I don't think that YouTube allows in live chat comment to share links. Was it what you were attempting to do, Fabio? Because that's why we don't see a link. You can see like next to Laura. That's all we can see.
Yeah. No, it's a shame that you can't share the links in the live chat.
That's what it is.
That would make it easier to for us to share our stuff. But anyway, Joey says
we can, they can't.
They can't. Yeah. Joey says, I'm meant to be flying home this time next week.
Okay, so that means we won't see you on the next live session, but hopefully you will be in the plane.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be going somewhere.
Yeah. So yeah, Fabio was trying to share the link. I will try to see if I can allow some people to share links and everything. Maybe I'll get the Patreon to be able to share links or something like that. I will have a look, but I do know that there is like some blockades somewhere on YouTube in the whole shenanigan.
Yeah.
Okay, so one other thing that I wanted to chat. So we did chat for like about 41 minutes right now, and I was trying to fit in something in, but we'll try now. I wanted to chat about something that we post on Facebook this week, and it's about a lovely little project called Project Tongariro. So we spent a day with them, and we did on one of the hikes. So that's something that they do to both raise fund and also reward the people which actually spend time and energy with them to help them in their little project. So it's something that we really do enjoy. There is a full kind of photo album, about 22 photos on Facebook about that. So if you guys want to check our Facebook page, it's at NZ Pocket Guide. But yeah, Laura is going to tell you a little bit about what is Project Tongariro and what do they do.
Yeah, so Project Tongariro there's quite a lot of these organizations around New Zealand that do community planting days. So one thing you could be doing while you're in New Zealand, because there's a lot of work in conservation and where trees and vegetations have been cut down for perhaps farming. Some of that land is being reclaimed to plant more trees and to perhaps one thing that Project Tongariro does is particularly planting trees near waterways, so that there's something to sort of filter when the water is going into the waterways and making the waterways a bit healthier. So yeah, there's a lot of community planting days in New Zealand. It's kind of a big thing over here where people get together and plant some trees, and usually it's a very easy thing. Like you go there, they sort of have all the plants set up for you, ready to put in holes. You just have to put them in the hole, cover them up, and then there's usually plenty of opportunities to stop for some morning tea and then a barbecue afterwards. So Yeah, it's a very like fun sort of community thing that
So
happens.
yeah,
and-
there's a lot of retired people, so they do it kind of like at their own pace and everything like that. So there is a break for food, probably about like every half an hour, which it's kind of like it's the best way to do volunteering. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's fantastic, and they have had some really amazing success, seeing a lot of extra native species which are coming back to areas that have been basically replanted into all native shrubs and native bush and everything. So it's quite fantastic. So yeah, so we did follow them into one big mount called Mount Tahia. It's not a hike that we recommend to anyone to do because literally it starts from the side of the road. You can barely
It's
park
hard
there.
to find it. I don't think I would find it again if
Yeah,
we went
it's
there.
hard to track your way
Yeah.
through everything. So yeah.
So yeah, they gave us a guided experience because usually it's a hike that otherwise would be quite hard to do on your own. So that's what we
Indeed.
did.
Fabio says you can give us moderation rights. Yes. I need to look into that. That's the idea that I have. I need to see how many people you can give, all this kind of thing. So I'll work on that. That is a good idea. What is Babyface saying, Laura? Babyface. That's a name and a half.
Babyface says, Kia ora, what is the cheapest city to live in Aotearoa, New Zealand?
It would be not a city. It would be a tiny, small town. Because if you want to live in a city in New Zealand, it is getting really, really expensive. So the best way to live on the cheap in New Zealand is to actually live not in cities, but in towns. There is plenty of cheaper town in the southern end of New Zealand. So some areas such as the west coast of New Zealand, maybe something like Riften. Currently housing is extremely cheap over there. I mean, extremely cheap for New Zealand standard around Riften. Even at the bottom of the southern end, you will have something like Bluffs or Gore. And in there, you will be able to get decently priced housing. If you are absolutely looking for a city and you have to have like something which is quite large as a city, I would say that one of the cheapest city in New Zealand is probably Invercargill, which is in the Southland region, which is at the bottom of the South Island. However, we are not real estate or a cost of life expert. It's just kind of a gut feeling from people which actually are living in New Zealand, but that's the town you may want to live into. Remember that there's a big difference between towns and cities in New Zealand. So yeah. But I give you a bit of an understanding right here. Let me know if you have a follow-up. Babyface. Thomas Wooding. Yes, sorry.
Says-
Oh, there's a
There's a mark on the screen.
There's a mark, so it looks like you are the DP there. So Wooding, yes. What is Mr. Wooding saying?
Says, hello, are UK working holiday visas going to be reopened this year?
Basically, here's how immigration New Zealand work this out, right? If you have the right to come to New Zealand, i.e. there is a path for you to be able to come in the country, then they will actually let you be able to get a visa, right? So at this stage, there is no path for people on a working holiday in the UK to come to New Zealand, just because of all the border closures and everything like that. So at this stage, they are not going to reissue those visas. However, as we progress throughout 2022, it may become more likely as, basically there's going to be more chances for people to be able to come and travel to New Zealand. So it's kind of a wait and see game. So right now, my gut feeling is that yes, at some point in 2022, it will reopen. I don't see kind of where without kind of reopening it, but it's just a gut feeling, and there is nothing tangible for us to base ourselves on. I did have a whole discussion with myself, basically, in a video on this channel, saying, "Will you really be able to come and travel to New Zealand in 2022?" You may want to watch that. I go over kind of a few train of thought that I've had, and I think that students and working holiday visa makers may be some of the first one to be reloaded into New Zealand because you're coming for a lengthier period of time, and therefore, if there is some self-isolation mandate in there, it is more worth it for you. However, it won't be cheap. You have to pay for those self-isolation costs yourself. You have to organize all those things yourself. And so for that reason, it may not be the easiest kind of path forward in coming to New Zealand rather than waiting a little longer. Now, will it be allowed, even just on paper, in 2022? My gut feeling is yes. Now, will it be like in early 2022? Absolutely not. It will be probably in the latter part of 2022. But yeah, we'll have to see how that progresses, and obviously we will keep you guys updated. Reconnection successful. Let's give it a minute. Yeah, we have to talk about all right, so we should be back, guys. Sorry about that.
Let us know if you can still see us.
Here you go. That's been a while. That's been a while that
Yeah.
we haven't disconnected like that. But hey, thanks to the new system, thanks to the Patreon guys, we actually can come back. Usually we just have to stop and do a new session and everything. Thanks to the Patreon, we can be back. So here you go. So big thank you to everybody, everybody that support us on Patreon right now. This is because of you that we can create a whole system that has some backup and can attempt to reconnect itself, and then it works again.
Yeah.
So you guys are awesome. Now we're back. Was I done talking about the working holiday visa? When did it cut for you guys? Because we know that we're seeing the cut a little bit later than you. But was I done talking about the working holiday visa? And Laura was moving on.
I was about to talk about some of the people were suggesting the cheapest small towns.
Oh yeah, it's cheaper small
to
towns.
live
So yeah.
in.
So yeah, I think I was done with the working holiday visa. But in short, Thomas, we will keep you updated. We do that a lot on the channel. Laura was telling you probably to subscribe. Anyway, Fabio was saying something.
So Fabio, in response to the question we had from Babyface saying where is the cheapest city to live in Aotearoa, he was saying maybe a very secluded and small town somewhere on the South Island, which is pretty much what we were saying as well. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty much all the advice and tips that I just gave.
Yeah, and then Clay suggests a small town which is Tangata, which is well, it's spelled Tangata.
Ah well. Boo, Clay. Boo.
But that is near Balclutha, which is
yeah.
on the edge of the Catlins, which is quite.
Yeah, not too far from Goa. I was talking about Goa.
So near the bottom of the South Island. I didn't even. Admittedly, I did have to do a quick Google search to see where it was, and we have driven past it and didn't even realise it was a town there. So that was how easy it was to miss. But housing will probably be cheap there, so it's worth looking into.
There you go.
So where were we? We had Clay also saying the cheapest in New Zealand is to buy a house and you have to become a farmer if you want to earn a living. That was in the newspaper in Uruguay of all places.
Interesting. Clay was joking that this collection was a blast of the past. Yeah, definitely was a blast of the past.
Yes, that used to happen on all our live
Yeah,
sessions.
yeah.
Once we reached the 40-minute mark into our live session, it used to just cut out every time.
But there is a bunch of workers currently digging in front of a house to perhaps, potentially, hopefully install fiber. And okay, I'll say it. I did receive a modem that is compatible with fiber from a provider. So here you go. I received it. I wasn't sure if I should tell people just yet or not, but yeah.
No,
So
I think that's all right.
we
to
still
say.
don't have a date of when we're having it, but I put pretty much all the chips I can put in place.
We're ready to go. We just need that cable in the ground.
So the fiber company has been made aware that we want fiber. They've got all my payment details and all that. They sent us the modem. There's some people doing some digging, in our street. But the people doing the digging don't tell me, they don't want to tell me if it's fiber or not, which is very annoying. So yeah, so we may get fiber, i.e. those live sessions may come in 1080p at some point, maybe one day. So no more blurriness around the super sharp text next to Laura over there. We're expecting big things right here. We're expecting super real-time interactions right here. I'll be able to show more stuff on screen.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's expectations are high, and I will fall from a height, and I'm gonna hurt myself a lot. But that's okay. Expectations are high.
Okay, so we had Natasha saying that we were back, so thanks for that, Natasha. We have Anthony Comstock saying his usual signature sentence, which is, stay safe, but I'm here until the end. And yes, you are back. Oh, he added something a little different onto the end there.
Yes.
Very nice. Then we have Clay saying, blame those boogers out on the front. Am I allowed to say that word on YouTube, or are we going to get...
He's referring to the people working over there, but obviously it's Sunday right now, so they're not working, so I technically can't blame them right now, but on Monday I will, and we have had some issues with internet throughout the week as well, and I did blame them for that, but I don't know if it was them or not.
And I'll just read the last message from Clay saying, actually a nice wee town, referring to Tangata.
Yes.
So we'll have to visit it one day. It sounds like it's a very small town. And then we have Big Dealer in the house saying, hi guys, how are you guys doing? Laura and Robin, just miss you guys.
We're doing really awesome.
Oh!
Sorry, I'm allergic to your niceness. I'm doing really awesome. How is it going for you in South America? How is life treating you? Tell us now. Now. Natasha says the video and chat feed on screen are blurry. Or is that just for me? No, it's it is a little blurry right now. Just I think it's the internet connection reconnecting. But hopefully we're gonna get fiber. It's gonna be all sharp and so amazing. You're gonna get to see our crisp baby faces. Absolutely perfect. Fabio is saying 4K videos. That would be my personal next point on my bucket list for NZ Pocket Guide. We have never filmed anything in 4K because we can never kind of upload anything in 4K. And also because one of the things as well, I will try, because you mentioned that, right? So I will try to kind of film like either a sunset or a sunrise for our next trip, you know, where we're going. We'll talk about it next week for everybody else. But I'm going to try to do one shot in 4K. But what you also have to keep in mind is that we do have to then kind of carry all those data and everything like that, and they become really, really heavy, right? And we take a lot of photos, so we also have to manage how much data can we kind of move around and everything. And also we have to process this video and everything. So I don't think 4K is going to become our standard until quite a few years down the line to be able to kind of do all these kind of things much easier. But we're definitely going to go to like 1080 or even a little bit more afterwards. But yeah, we sadly cannot do it all over again in 4K. That would be impossible. Also, do you know how many SD card we would need? Like, because sometimes, you know, when we film, right, a lot when we film during New Zealand's biggest gap year, we kind of left like a GoPro somewhere on top of a boat or something, and it was filming for like 3 hours, and then I was just cutting a few bits and pieces here and there, right? 3 hours of a 4K shot on the boat, that will take like many gigabytes, more than what an SD card can keep, right? So it will be a complete new kind of TV production. So yeah, if we reach that level of TV production, yeah, that'd be fun. But I don't know if we're there just yet.
Big Dealer in the house did answer your question very, very promptly, Robin, saying, I'm fine, guys.
Yay. Awesome.
Good to hear. And then he says, we are in the summertime. Very nice.
Yes, it's summer for us as well. That's why our question right now, poll of the day, is what is the best barbecue food, guys? You got to get voting. We are almost, I'm going to close it in about 2 minutes. I'm going to close the voting and we're going to have a winner.
It's going to be the most important poll you do this year.
Yes. And we say that every week and we mean it never.
Yeah. Then we have Clay was talking about the video quality, suggesting that I think it's when on the big screen on my phone it's crisp, but on the TV it's blurry. And then we have Fabio, saying do it all over again. And then Natasha saying, are there areas or activities in New Zealand that you guys haven't done yet / had to skip during the gap year that you would still really want to see?
So to be really honest with you, Natasha, we could do New Zealand's biggest gap year all over again and do literally just different activities, right? There is that much to do in New Zealand. Now, is there anything that we really want to do? I really want to go to Chatham Islands. So it's another kind of area of New Zealand which is kind of far off. So I really want to go there. It's something that we haven't been there. So I'd say if there is one, that would be this one. I haven't been to the Chatham Island yet, and I wish I could. What is there anything that you haven't done?
It's only a small thing, really. It's just the Putangirua Pinnacles, which was a Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, we keep on trying to go there.
Filming location. Works, and when we did, literally, we drove past it because we had to do. I think we had to do quite a long drive, like a 3-hour drive, because we had like a tour scheduled that we had to make, and we were like, we didn't have time to fit in the Putangirua Pinnacles. But it's one of those places I think would be easy to get back to. So I think we're gonna. It's just
timing wise, it's kind of like I think like every single time, every time we travel, like you go somewhere, there's always that one cursed place that you can never go to.
Yeah.
And I think for us is this Putangirua Pinnacles, where it just never works. Like it's always just the worst timing, or it's kind of like we don't have time, or we can't fit it, or it was terrible weather. Or, it's just kind of like it just doesn't work. It's just so annoying.
But no, there's still a lot of places that we could go in New Zealand that we haven't been to during New Zealand's biggest gap year, like Robin said. There is that much to do here. So there's definitely places. If I was to plan an entire year of travel again, I'd still be able to find some cool spots. But at the same time, I am really really happy with the amount that we did do during New Zealand's biggest gap year. And we had a blast on doing that many activities. So I don't come away from that experience thinking, I wish I'd done something else. So I feel really satisfied by the amount that we've done as well.
Christian Sharma is saying, will New Zealand borders open for new international students? Clay, this one's for you. All right. So the borders right now are currently closed of New Zealand, and there is a plan to reopen the borders. And you may want to check out my video about that announcement there. There is no extra news about that right now, and you may want to chat to your education provider to see if they have a plan in order to arrange self-isolation for you, to see if that is in the, basically in the option that you can take. So yeah, that's basically what you want to do right now, Krishna. There is no extra news regarding this just yet. Clay is saying, a lot of water being had this morning. How is it going? It's going well. It's going well. You can see the bloodshot eyes of Laura, me drinking a lot of water. We're going swell. We're going absolutely swell.
Natasha says, yes, I want to go to the Pinnacles so badly, but since I'm on foot/bus, I can never include it because there aren't any tours that go there that I've been able to find, at least. Yes, I don't think I've seen any tours that go to the Puta Tangarua Pinnacles anyway, because, yeah, I mean, the closest sort of place that people go to would be Wellington, but it is still, I think, about a 2-hour drive from Wellington, so it's not that easy to get to. It is one that you would have to probably have your own vehicle for to make that trip easy.
Hey, if we ever run our own tours, we put that in the itinerary because we want to get there.
And hey guys, Robin was looking at...
Oh yeah, I was.
Robin, we were passing through a car dealership yesterday, and Robin stopped by a large minivan and was like, oh, how much? Maybe
57,700 New Zealand dollars. It's not cheap, guys. It's not cheap. But yeah, I was looking at it. I did do some math and everything. So yeah, I still have the idea in mind that we talk about all the time. I still have the idea in mind. So yeah, but damn, it's 57,000 New Zealand dollars. I think I can get $700 off.
We have Extreme Taluta saying, see you next week.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Dave Evan is saying, wife and I have had 30 days vacation booked in 2020, which was delayed due to COVID. Now we're scheduling for 2023. Any chance a travel will occur in 2023? I think that's highly likely, right? New Zealand is extremely dependent on tourism for its economy. They're already making some steps right now to reopen the border, albeit obviously you will have to do self-isolation for 7 days and all that, which I don't think that would be feasible for you and your wife, right? I mean, if you're coming for 30 days, you're not going to spend 7 days locked into a hotel with your wife. Not that it would then be a lovely time. It's just...
Sounds like the perfect honeymoon.
Yes, but if you're coming to New Zealand, you want to explore the country, right? So Dave, I don't think that's feasible for you. But obviously, you could come to New Zealand in a few months if you're willing to pay for and do the 7 days isolation. But that's a first step right here, and that's basically kind of like New Zealand kind of dipping its toes back into the sea of accepting international travelers again. So yeah, we do see that. So when we did our projection, when we kind of analyzed a little bit this border opening, and we have some other videos on the channel that you may want to check out, we were saying that we think that around late 2022 is when international travel is going to be back on track. There will be some new requirements in coming to New Zealand. You will have to be vaccinated. You will have to have like negative tests and all these kind of things. I don't think we're going to get kind of away from that early on. So that's still going to be the case. So you may want to get yourself prepared and make sure that, all the vaccines that you have, you get yourself all the correct paperwork and everything. But yeah, so in 2023, that's highly likely that you will be able to travel to New Zealand. I really have a hard time seeing, unless obviously there is like all the crazy variants and everything that happens. But, if we keep going in that direction with so many people vaccinated in New Zealand as well, I don't see a way we keep international travelers away from New Zealand post 2023. In fact, I actually do think it's going to be late 2022 when people are going to be able to come back into the country. But yeah, Dave, stick around with the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe. We talk about those news all the time. We'll keep you posted, and you can start planning your trip. It gives you more time to plan your whole trip, decide where you want to go and everything. Laura and I are kind of the travel experts around New Zealand, so it's a great place to hang out when planning a trip to New Zealand. Tamo is saying that the Putangaria Pinnacles is a must. So here you go, Laura.
Yeah.
You must.
Yeah. That's why I regret not going there.
So Fabio did a quick calculation. 4K video, YouTube 4K format, 3 hours, about 116 to 117 gigabytes. Yes, that's basically my calculation, right? So that's a lot of those tiny little SD cards when you have like 3 different cameras and you need to film the before, after, and all these kind of things. So that's the reason why 4K is not going to be feasible until a little bit longer just yet. Just to give you an idea, we usually do about 100 gigabytes of data a day. So, if it's just one camera, that would be a little too much, or one shot, that would be a little too much. Werner is saying something.
Are there requirements to doing self-isolation if you are allowed?
So yes, there is a list of requirements. You may want to see the whole video that I actually covered all, I covered it all during that video. And as soon as there are some hotel that's going to start, having those kind of package, I will also do a video just to show you guys what it looks like and what are the prices. But yeah, expect to pay between $2,000 to $3,000.
Clay says, are the Clay Cliffs anything like the Pinnacles are? They're very similar, obviously, from what we've visited the Clay Cliffs. So the Clay Cliffs are in Omarama on the South Island. It's kind of just a little bit of a detour off the main sort of tourist trail when you're going between Queenstown, Wanaka and Lake Tekapo. So yeah, they have very similar formations where you have these sort of weathered pinnacles in the cliff sides. So you can check that out on the channel. Search Clay Cliffs NZ Pocket Guide, and you can see us visiting that area. And that is a really awesome alternative if you can't get to the Pintangarua Pinnacles.
And ideally is asking about what is the Pintangarua Pinnacles all about. So it is a really nice place to visit north of Wellington, not too far from a beautiful lighthouse as well. And it's just a place that it's a Lord of the Rings location as well. So it's a Lord of the Rings filming location. And so yeah, that's the place that sadly we couldn't get to because we're just not lucky enough. But it's just yet another walk in New Zealand, yet another awesome walk in New Zealand.
Yes.
All right, guys, we stayed well over time today, and we have to get started with our Patreon live session. So here you go. Thank you very much for joining us for another fantastic week. If you feel like rewarding our hard work, hit like, hit subscribe, and so like that you'll be up to date with all our different videos and everything like that. If you want even more reward our hard work, join us on Patreon. There is a link in the description below. You'll get an extra live session that's happening literally shortly. And Laura is joining us for this live session as well. So that's going to be fun today. And so that's basically it. I think that's usually how I say goodbye. We see you next week at the same time. Things don't change.
And the poll quickly.
The poll. Yeah, barbecue food. The best barbecue food is official. It's hamburger with 50%. Second is a sausage sizzle with 21%. Then the cold drink. This is only Clay. Clay,
14%.
Yeah, Clay voted like literally 20 times. And barbecue veggies, capsicum, etc. is also at 14%. So
Eat your vegetables, people.
All right, see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
See you next week.